Milano-Sanremo is too difficult for Tadej Pogacar to win. Sounds ridiculous, right? The most dominant rider in cycling, a man with 92 career victories, 3 Tour de France titles, a Giro d'Italia, a World Championship title, and wins in 3 of the 5 cycling monuments. And yet, he can't win this one? Wait, let me explain. Milano-Sanremo is too easy for Tadej Pogacar. There are no long climbs, no brutal terrain like gravel and Strade Bianche, where he can make the winning difference. He thrives in races where he can overpower the competition with sheer endurance, where the hardest roads break his rivals long before the finish. La Classicissima? It's different. A race famously known as the easiest monument to finish, but the hardest race to win. It's a slow burn, 289 kilometers of patience before an explosive final that favors riders with racecraft and timing, qualities that have eluded Pogacar in San Remo. And he knows it. Milano-Sanremo, probably the race that will torment me for the longest time. Pogacar admitted in an interview this winter, "I'm getting so close, but it's so far. It's unbelievable." The problem isn't his strength, it's that everyone knows exactly what he's going to do. Still, Pogacar refuses to give up. He was spotted reconning the Cipressa and Poggio this week. A fan was there roadside filming him. Also Tom Pidcock, who was out there with Vincenzo Nibali, himself a former winner, in Milano-Sanremo. They're out there doing the hard miles, everything that's required, searching for that magic formula. Is this the year Tadej Pogacar finally cracks the code? Or will that same San Remo curse strike again? Before we get too deep into the analysis and what I think may make it too hard for Tadej Pogacar to win Milano-Sanremo, a quick reminder. The 2025 Milano-Sanremo is live and on demand for our FloBikes viewers in Canada. It's the first monument of the season and you won't want to miss a second of it. Let's talk about the Cipressa trap. The UAE team Emirates knows Pogacar can't wait for the Poggio to attack. He's tried, and each time there's been a rider, Van der Poel, Van Aert, Ghana, glued to his wheels. So the Cipressa is their new battleground. Last year, the team tried to rip the race apart here, riding in 9 minutes and 35 seconds. But it wasn't fast enough. Pogacar was left isolated, and his move on the Poggio was neutralized. They're planning to go even faster this time, targeting a sub-90-minute Cipressa, something no one has done since 1996. But is it even possible? Or will it simply burn his team before the decisive attacks start? Tom Pidcock put it best when asked what he would do if Pogacar attacks on the Cipressa. Telling Cycling News, "That's a good question. It all depends. If he goes by himself, I'm sure it's the right tactic to go with him, but if anyone else goes with him, then that's different." And that's the problem. Pogacar doesn't just need to attack, he needs someone willing to work with him. Otherwise, the sprinters teams will use that long run into San Remo just to shut it down like last year. Remember, there's that road along the coast between the Cipressa and Poggio. Let's talk about the favorites. So if it's not Pogacar, who will it be in 2025? Mathieu van der Poel, the 2023 victor, he has the best San Remo instincts in the peloton, and his team Alpecin-Deceuninck is stacked, including a one Jasper Philipsen. Last year's winner, 2024, perfectly set up by van der Poel. If it's a sprint, he's a major favorite. Tom Pidcock, we mentioned him in his new team, Q36.5, a wild card. He's been flying this season and has both climbing and descending skills important for the Poggio descent to shake things up. Mads Pedersen, the Dane, pure beast mode, dominated in Paris-Nice, winning a stage, taking the green jersey. If he survives the Poggio, he's hard to bet against. Filippo Ganna, the big Italian rider, the Italian hope, second in 2023, and he's stronger than ever. We saw that in Triano Adriatico. Biniam Girmay, who's been out a bit with the birth of a second child, but his sprinting form has been incredible. He's got the speed, and if he's in the final selection, he can win it. One of my favorites. The 2025 Milano-Sanremo route, well, it's a classic. All the way down from Milan, hitting the coast, 289 kilometers of tension, a long run, steady grind. There on the Ligurian coast, well, that's where the action ramps up. The 3 Capi and then the big one, the Cipressa, 5.6 at 4.1%, average 9% max. Pogacar's possible launch pad, but historically, not decisive. The Poggio, 3.7 kilometers at the same 3.7% gradient average, and that nasty 8% max kicker at the top. After the riders have nearly 250 kilometers in their legs, the real battle begins here. Whoever crests the Poggio first, with a gap, is in the driver's seat. The descent. Now, this is critical in Milano-Sanremo. Fast, technical, and crucial. Van der Poel used it perfectly last year. And then we have the Via Roma, the legendary sprint to the line. This is where the Belgian great Eddy Merckx dominated. Classic. Among the city's shops, fans and locals hanging out street side and from the windows to cheer the riders on. If you love cycling coverage, well, I do. If you love it, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell right down there so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming coverage. We got race analysis, interviews, and on-the-ground coverage. I'll be there throughout the season. Flanders, Roubaix, the Giro d'Italia, and of course, the 2025 Tour de France. Don't miss it. Will Pogacar finally win? Pogacar has won everything else. He's won races in every way imaginable, from 80-kilometer solo attacks to sprint finishes, from grand tours to one-day slugfest. Maybe this is his year, or maybe Milano-Sanremo will once again prove to be the race he just cannot master. Either way, we'll find out this Saturday.